I am so tired of you acting like you speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
Hey, jerks.
Hey, how's everybody doing this morning? It's Friday. What? Coming up on the show, Trump rings the bell, you guys.
Ding, ding, ding.
Rings that bell. Jeff Van Drew doubles down, sorta, and Biden continues to hate America. Surprise! All that and so much more. Please check us out on all of our socials. Do that. chicksontheright.com/links. That's where you can find all the things. And also subscribe to this. Did I subscribe? I need more coffee this morning. I need to subscribe to this podcast. If you haven't done that already, just click the subscribe button. Do it. Please do that. You guys, if you haven't finished Christmas shopping, then I don't know what you're doing.
I haven't started because we don't do that.
You guys don't do that. You're very lucky. I'm done. I'm done with all my Christmas shopping.
Look at you.
I know. I'm one of those weirdos. I start in September because I have to budget. You know what I mean? But you guys can find all the gifts for everybody at gruntstyle.com. It's a great place to get it. Mock has on one of their, see, look at that fabulous
It's
jacket.
so cozy.
So soft. You can get that and all the things. Use code CHICKS15 for 15% off if it's your first ever purchase, or CHICKS10 for 10% off if you shopped there before. Gruntstyle.com.
I love them. And I love this so
Yeah.
much. I actually had something totally different on this morning. And then because I guess I've already gotten used to being a South Carolinian, and when it's only going to be 60 degrees out, that feels like winter to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all cold. And my husband's like, you could just turn up the heat. And I was like, yeah, but you're not supposed to do that in South Carolina.
Yeah,
so like,
we don't.
that's why I'm all dressed up and
We
warm.
wait and wait and wait here in Texas too. Yeah, we just would rather freeze in our own home.
Right.
Mhm.
I guess that's what I'm doing too.
Mhm.
All right, let's get into some things and some stuff, shall we?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, we're going to kick it off with some more pardons and commutations of sentences. Biden announced yesterday that he is going to commute the sentences of nearly 1,500 people and pardon 39 people who are not yet named. But this is like the biggest ever single day act of clemency in United States history.
Oh my God. You guys, what is going on? Do you think Fauci's part of that?
I don't know. That is an interesting question. We do know that some of the sentences that he's commuted are of just absolutely horrific people. For example, two of them, well, there were 3 Chinese criminals, 2 of which are spies.
Oh my
So-
God.
Yeah. Like when you consider, does Biden hate America? Just remember these kinds of things. 2 are spies. The other was convicted for possession of child porn. And I'm not talking just like, a few pictures. I'm talking about videos, including the rape of infants. This guy.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
47,000 files. To be exact. And Joe Biden's like, yeah, I feel like he's served enough time.
Like, this is who represents you, Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy who is like, yeah, let's go ahead and free the dude, or like pardon the dude who had 47,000 files of child pornography. Wood chipper. The only solution. I'm serious. Like, I have to go in for jury duty next week.
Oh, that's right. That's
on
right.
Monday, you guys, I have to go in for jury duty. Like, if
He's gonna wear like Chicks on the Right gear.
I want to get out of it so bad. You have no idea. But like my husband went in about a month and a half ago. He had to serve he actually served on a jury. And I was like, what kind of questions do they ask you? And he goes, they ask you questions about stuff like how you would deal with, child, like, and he's like people who are accused of sexual assault and things like that. And I'm like, I'm going to say, I think they belong in a wood chipper. And he goes, yeah, they're going to let you go. Cause I'm going to just say the things, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say them. If they don't let me go, I'm going to wonder about these people. But that's how I truly feel when it comes to child pornography, wood chipper.
Yeah, for real. And you guys, that's a good reminder. That is it Monday that we're going to maybe try to start the show a little bit early.
Yeah.
And then we may have to cut it short. So just know that Monday's show could be squirrely. Be ready to join us like as early as 7:30.
It's going to be early. Yeah. Cause I have to skedaddle like about a half hour earlier, 45 minutes earlier. So we're going to back it up.
And then if they're crazy enough to actually select you, I don't even know what's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about that because I can't think about it. Why would you select me? I would be the worst juror ever. The worst. I'm so biased, you guys. The worst.
But it might be like such an, apolitical case that you would be great. You don't know. And truth be told, I have always wanted to serve on a jury.
Really?
I got close, but I never made I've always gotten disqualified because I'm very opinionated about things.
Yeah.
And so I really would like to do it at some point. Just go through that whole process and experience.
My husband actually liked it. But he, my husband, Greg is like this, he's just like this. He's that guy. Like he's perfect for a jury. I'm like, let me tell you how I feel about everything.
Right.
I'm the worst for a jury. So I just don't know why they would ever decide that was a good idea to pick me, but I guess we'll see.
All right, moving on. There was speculation about what position, if any, Kari Lake might serve in a Trump administration. And now we know. He announced yesterday that she's going to serve as the director of the Voice of America, which I had never heard of.
What is it? What is that?
I guess it's some sort of agency for media. And that it's perfect for her because she was
Absolutely.
like a media person forever and ever and ever. So that makes all the sense in the world. I just didn't know, I just didn't know that this was a thing.
I didn't either, but I mean, you're right. That is a really good fit for her if it has something to do with media.
Yeah. And she was super grateful. She said, I'm honored that he's asked me to lead the Voice of America. Voice of America is a vital international media outlet dedicated to advancing the interests of the U.S. by engaging directly with people across the globe and promoting democracy and truth. So good for her.
Okay.
I guess that makes all kinds of sense. So anyway.
All right.
That
go, Kari.
Is happening. That's exactly right. By the way, do you guys remember when I was super sick the first week of my move and I hated everything and everyone and it was miserable? You probably don't remember that because I wasn't on the air. It was you and Chad.
I remember.
But you remember.
I got the text messages and I remember. Yeah.
I had the worst first week of a move ever.
Yeah.
And a lot of it had to do with the fact that I came down with some god-awful something or other. I don't know what it was because I didn't want to go to a doctor. I didn't want to deal with a waiting room full of people. I just didn't want to. I knew I had some sort of flu or COVID or cold or whatever.
It was a funk.
Yeah, it was just a funk. And I knew because of the cough, I just knew that I could take care of it on my own, thanks to having medications at home from allfamilypharma.com. And so I reached into their little bag of tricks, right? Because with the great thing about All Family Pharma is that All Family Pharmacy is that you can pick and choose what drugs you want to have on hand in case of emergencies or in case of unexpected illnesses where you don't want to deal with doctors. That's what's nice. They do have like the emergency kits and things like that, but they also have a la carte drugs that you can get. And one of the things that we have on hand is azithromycin, which is perfect for infections that are bronchitis related or cold related or whatever. And so about halfway through that week, I thought, I'm just going to bust into my allfamilypharma.com/chicks packet of goodies. And I got my azithromycin and that knocked it out. Like 2 days later, I was feeling almost as good as new. Now, granted, I still have the cracklies, so it's not completely gone, but I feel like myself again. And it's just really, really nice to have things. And they have all the drugs too that you might want to have on hand that are harder to get. Ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, the things that are used to fight COVID. You can use code CHICKS10 to get 10% off your entire order when you visit allfamilypharma.com/chicks. All right. You probably all heard by now that Donald Trump is Time Magazine's Person of the Year. And so he has a brand new cover photo, as you can see here. Not everybody is happy about this, as you might imagine. In fact, Don Lemon is very upset.
So
Apparently,
mad.
he went live to talk about this cover, and he is outraged and even thinks it's so outrageous that maybe it's not even a real news story. Here is Don Lemon.
Now, if they wanted to make someone Person of the Year, they would have made someone who, and my God, I'm sure he loves this, right? If they wanted to make someone Person of the Year, I don't know, they could have done it with any person. People, they could have done it to someone who actually stood for democracy, who stands for democracy in the country.
Oh my God.
You have someone on the cover of your magazine who is an adjudicated assaulter. You have someone who inspired an insurrection. You have someone who, without a doubt, the evidence is there, tried to overturn a free and fair election. You had someone who had multiple criminal counts and found guilty on multiple criminal counts.
Bless
And
his
you
heart.
name them Person of the Year? Is this a joke? Did we get something wrong? Did someone scam us? Are we sure about this, producers? There is a convicted felon on the cover of Time magazine as the Person of the Year. Maybe we're being scammed. Did someone put out a fake tweet or something about this?
I'm so delighted with this discomfort.
I know.
I'm just loving all of the discomfort here. Listen, I honestly didn't think it was going to be Trump. You and I both went on Spicy Show the other day, and he asked who we wanted it to be or thought it was going to be, and you and I both said Elon because he was in the running, and it's because he single-handedly saved free speech.
Yeah.
And so I thought it would be him. And I think part of the reason that you and I both said that, I don't want to speak for you, but I think part of it is because we're so conditioned that Trump loses these things.
Right.
You know what I mean? When it comes to like the mass media and popular opinion and stuff like that, people are so conditioned to hate him at this point and never put him in positions like a Time Person of the Year. And so I just assumed it wouldn't be him because of course Time is not going to make him the Person of the Year. Why would they make Trump he should be, but he's not going to be. So at the very least, it would be Elon, but they probably wouldn't pick him either. Right.
Right.
So I actually was shocked by this. Of course, I think he deserves it because if you look on paper, everything he's been through, like the political, abuse and the lawfare and the media hate and the 2 assassination attempts.
Right.
I mean, he
He's
deserves
had some stuff
it.
going on. I mean, he's been kind of busy. People are calling it the biggest comeback of ever, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of is. I mean, he's come back from literally every punch that has been thrown at him.
He's a phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that he's on the cover. Now, Don Lemon can suck it, whatever. He's mad.
Totally.
But the way that some media outlets, even across the pond, are positioning this is absolutely ridiculous. So look at Metro from the UK. Back when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were named Times Person of the Year in 2020, that was simply the headline. They were named Times Person of the Year. But Donald Trump joins exclusive club enjoyed by Hitler, Stalin, Khrushchev, and Khomeini. I mean, seriously?
You're right. They're still trying. They're still grasping with their TDS. They're freaking out. Cope and seethe.
Right?
Jackholes, cope and seed.
And then, of course, along with the cover, there was an interview in the magazine. And so there was one of the questions that they asked him was about whether he can really bring prices down, for example, at the grocery store or elsewhere. And he answered the question with lots of context. He said, the question was, if the prices of groceries don't come down, will your presidency be a failure? And he said, I don't think so. Look, they got them up. I'd like to bring them down. It's hard to bring things down once they're up. It's very hard, but I think that they will. I think the energy is going to bring them down. I think a better supply chain is going to bring them down. So, I mean, he has all the context, but Sam Stein of MSNBC only said, when he tweeted about this, he said, Trump tells Time he's not sure that he can get the price of groceries down, and only put the part of the quote where he says it's hard to bring things down once they're up. It's very hard.
Of course.
What a piece of crap that guy is.
Yeah. Sam sucks.
God. I mean.
Yeah. Yep. They're just so fixated. They just cannot take it. They can't take all of and they hate the disruption. They hate the people that are coming in. They hate that there's going to be change, you know, in the regime. They don't like it. They want the same old bullshit is what they want. They'd be so happy with that. You know, well, bye.
God, it's and they're you can tell they're salivating over a potential failure. Like they don't even actually want prices to come down.
Right.
They just want Trump to fail. So
yeah, because they hate America.
Right. Exactly.
It's not even
example.
Right. It's not even about the guy so much. They just want America to fail. It's like these people are so self-loathing. It's just ridiculous.
And then, of course, leave it to the media to insist that whenever people were talking about the potential of, you know, undercover folks or what do they call them? Confidential human sources, when there was ever any suggestion by regular people or by alternative media sources that January 6th included confidential human sources of the FBI, of course, the mainstream was like, that's ridiculous. That's misinformation. These are all lies. This is dangerous for American democracy. But you wait long enough and all the conspiracies come true, right? As we heard yesterday, you'll hear it in this report from John Roberts on Fox News.
Kick off the show today, Sandra. I'm John Roberts in Washington. The report reveals that there were a total of 26 confidential human sources in the crowd that day.
David Spunt is live from the Justice Department. He has got the news for us. David.
Sandra, 3 of those were authorized and tasked by the FBI to be there on January 6, 2021. We're coming up on 4 years since that day of the Capitol riot. This IG report specifically focuses on the FBI's handling of confidential human sources, or as we know them, FBI informants. For years, the outgoing FBI director, Chris Wray, has been pressed on reports of undercover agents. According to this new report, there were no undercover FBI agents. However, there were 3 confidential human sources tasked by the Bureau to be in the crowd on January 6th to specifically watch what the report states is concerns over domestic terrorism. Out of those 3, Sandra and John, 1 entered the Capitol, 2 others entered a restricted area. The report says the FBI did not encourage or authorize any sources to go into the building or a restricted area. In addition to the 3 confidential human sources, the FBI told there were 23 that were there on their own. Now, they had worked with the FBI in the past on other cases, but not specifically on the January 6th rally. Some of them entered a restricted area as well. And what stands out in this report, John and Sandra, none of the confidential human sources that entered the U.S. Capitol or a restricted area were prosecuted by the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office.
Okay, yeah, really? Yeah, so what else did they lie about? And, you know, Ray, I bet you, is on that pardon list.
Ooh, I wonder about that too.
He's on that pardon party list. You know, he is. People are rotting in jail. They are just sitting in jail. They have been treated like absolute garbage. They're in places that we can't even imagine, you know, just regular people who were there that day, because it was all political warfare. What happened on that day? They lied to us, you guys. I'm wondering if heads are going to roll, if there's going to actually be accountability. Kash Patel cannot get in there soon enough.
How many more days? What are we at? 38, 37?
I think it's 37, you guys. I just, you know, a lot of us suspected this stuff. And then, you know, because everybody's been screaming, insurrection. I mean, Don Lemon just said it. What do you have to say about that, Don? It's craziness.
Well, and that's not the only thing that is more evidence of how much Democrats hate their own country. This report, it just makes my head explode, like with anger. If you don't feel rage about what Biden is doing right now with the remaining materials that were supposed to and still could build the wall on the border, I hope you're sitting down for this report.
Part is President Trump already said he wants to finish building the border wall. So why would President Biden sell something taxpayers already paid for, knowing it could be used? Yet we found huge sections of the wall on an Arizona highway leaving the border to be sold as scrap for pennies on the dollar.
Oh my God.
It's going to one of 3 locations in Arizona where President Biden is selling hundreds of tons of state-of-the-art steel wall taxpayers already paid billions for and ready to go in the ground when Trump takes office. According to the auction website, the government is taking bids starting at $5 each for each lot of 40,000 pounds of welded steel and concrete fence, roughly 150 steel beams. Border Patrol agent Art Del Cueto inspected the bollards and said there was nothing wrong with the panels.
I mean, honestly, that's just a slap in the face, not just to the agents that are out there working, to the American public as a whole. They could have just left these panels alone.
Yeah, they could have.
There's no other reason for him to do that except for pure spite and hatred of country.
Yep, it is spite. Hatred of country, hatred of the new administration coming in. They hate you guys.
God, I mean that's just,
and that's his legacy. Yeah, that is his legacy. What a piece of shit this guy is.
Right? I mean, you just don't get worse, especially because I mean, it's a slap in the face to every taxpayer who shelled out ridiculous amounts of money for that. Way too much money, clearly from the get-go. If now you can auction it off for $5 for 40,000 pounds.
And it's not just us. We're not the only ones who pay taxes. Liberals pay taxes too. Why aren't they outraged by this? This is what drives me crazy. It's like, if you are for this guy, you paid for that too. They took your money too, and then they set it on fire, and he's basically laughing at you all the way out of office with this little stupid smirk as he like walks off the stage and then turns back. I just crapped my pants. I mean, he like seriously, they are affected by this just as much as we are, but they don't care.
Right.
Because they're so infected with the TDS. It's astounding.
It's vile. It's absolutely vile. You guys, if you are not in a state of preparedness for any potential, like, listen, we might be being attacked by aliens right now. We might be like in the middle of getting ready for Independence Day and just not even realize it.
Where is Will Smith? Where is he?
Right. So if you do not have at least some prepper in you, can I just please beseech you? Can I implore you?
She's beseeching you guys. She's beseeching.
Imploring. Do at least think about having an emergency food supply ready. You can get it from ReadyWise.com. You can use promo code CHICKS20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order. They have amazing different kinds of foods that you can prepare in an emergency that stores for 25 years. Look at this. This is one of those self-heating meal kits that you don't even need. I mean, this is all you need, you guys. This is like self-heating. You don't need equipment. You just need water, and somehow magic happens in this, and then all of a sudden you have an amazing meal. So this is just one way, in addition to having water and other like just obvious things that you should have in emergencies. It's just another way to give yourself some peace of mind that in an emergency, you are covered from a food perspective. Again, it's ReadyWise.com, promo code CHICKS20 to get your 20% off your order. Do it. One last just little odds and ends sort of headline, and that is, you guys remember the Duke Lacrosse case, the rape case?
Yes, I do.
You've probably watched documentaries on it. There's been a bunch of them. It's one of those cases that you kind of, like, if you're old enough, you remember that really, really well. And how the media played such a huge, in fact, that's probably the first story that I can remember where the media shaped the story.
Yes.
Way more than they had any right to be.
Totally. Yeah.
And so now, what is it, 18 years later, the woman at the center of it all, the accuser, is now finally admitting that she made the whole thing up.
And I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't. And that was wrong. And I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me. And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God. And that was wrong. And I hope that they can forgive me.
Listen, I appreciate her being honest, and I'm sure she's a woman of God now, and I also appreciate that. I think that's great. I really do. But there's got to be some sort of accountability for that.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just, you can't just do that.
The boys went through. It makes me so angry.
It ruins some of their lives. Like I can't imagine like being a mom or a dad of those boys and then having them go through. Yeah. And then just being like, I get it. Like I get it. You want to be forgiven. And people, but seriously,
I know.
are you kidding me? Do you just get to do that and nothing happens to you?
Well, I think she ended up like stabbing like a husband or boyfriend. I think she is in jail now anyway for other
she
things.
is? Okay.
I think so.
Okay, so karma got her.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think she's paying a price, just not necessarily for that, except from her own guilt. And so now she's trying to alleviate some of that guilt. And I guess if it comes from a true, genuine, godly place, then
that's great. I mean, like I said, I think that's great. But at the same time, there's also the practicality of it. We live in a society where there are rules.
Yeah.
You can't just do that to people.
I know. That story just, wow. That really, I remember we played, because of course my son's a lacrosse player, and we showed him the documentary last year, I think. Even we watched the documentary, and he's got a Duke lacrosse jersey, just like out of solidarity, you know what I mean, for those boys. Because it's an incredible story when you think about how awful the media was and their role in it. They made things worse. So much worse. So anyway, interesting little follow-up to that story. You may have noticed my name today is the New York Mock Exchange. And that is because, of course, yesterday, Donald Trump got to ring the bell, and his family was there. A lot of his cabinet appointees were there. And it turns out he is the first president to ring the bell since Reagan, way back in the day when he was signing the guest book. The woman there told him that. And here is that moment.
You will be excited to know that you are the first president to ring the bell since Ronald Reagan.
Interesting job.
Ronald Reagan, March 28th, 1985, where he addressed the floor. Yes, it's a great honor to have you.
That's so neat. I love that. Yeah, that's really neat. Neat piece of history there. Good for him.
Yeah. And then when he did ring the bell, spontaneously, the entire crowd erupted in cheers of USA. And it just felt like, in fact, I saw a lot of headlines saying America's back, business is back. Like there's this level of confidence again that businesses have, from big companies all the way down to small businesses like ours. You just have the sense of things are righting themselves in a way.
Yeah.
And so this was a pretty neat moment when he rang the bell, and then all of a sudden those chants started happening.
I don't think it's lost on any, well, maybe people didn't see this like I did, but I noticed that it was a lot of the girls, like the women in his life, that were surrounding him during that moment. I thought that was kind of cool. It's like he didn't have his boys there. He had his girls there during that moment, and then his wife. And I thought that was really neat. A lot of the strong women.
Did you see that photo of the two of them that was going around? Of Melania? No, of Donald and Melania. It's the best photo of them just at the New York Stock Exchange. She looks unbelievable, and he's smiling. They just look so vibrant
and healthy, you know what I mean? And like and happy.
It's a fantastic photo. I should have grabbed it.
Yeah, but I loved how it's like his girls, his women are with him, because everybody's always talking about how he hates women. Screw you.
Oh my God.
He doesn't hate women. Ridiculous. Look, and the women that are standing with him, it's like in stark contrast to the women that surround Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, those are some strong ass women is what they are. They're business owners. They're educated. They're awesome. They're awesome. You know what, women, they're just great. They're wonderful representations. They're role models for your girls.
Yeah.
And I love that. I think that's fantastic. That's what we need. More of that.
Yep. He obviously made the rounds at the New York Stock Exchange, talked to everybody. Jim Cramer was one of the people that he was talking to specifically about what he plans to do with the corporate tax rate, which is, of course, very, very good news for businesses. Here he is talking about that.
I've always said, to me, stock market is all of it, all of it together. It's very important. It's an honor to be here at New York Stock Exchange. I sort of joked that I actually bought the building across the street because the stock exchange was here. It's a big deal.
40, it's a nice building.
40 Wall Street. So, look, we're gonna do things I think that haven't been really done before. We're gonna be cutting taxes still further. As you know, we got it down to 21%. We're gonna bring it down even below that. You pay 21 if you don't build here, and meaning your product or whatever it is you're building. And if you do, we're gonna try getting it down to 15%. But you have to build your product, make your product in the USA.
I love this. Oh my gosh, it's so great. 15%. You know, people that own businesses right now are hearing 15% and they're like, what? I don't even understand what you're saying right now. A tax rate that's 15%? Bart? What? It's I mean, I can't even comprehend that. There are a lot of business owners that cannot even wrap their brains around that. Because
this is the part of the confidence, right? Like that,
right?
You can just it is a palpable thing when the world, when like people and business owners feel like there's a comeback. You can feel it,
right? And 15%. Listen, I'm so excited about 15% for people, which is great. Our founders are like, it should never have gotten to 15%. Right. So it's
like one thing at a time.
Like, right. Exactly. But 15% for a company is freaking fantastic because the corporate tax rate is outrageous. Corporations were getting bent over. And if you don't own a small business, you don't know what I'm talking about, but they get bent over the worst. So
and then,
good news.
You tie that in because of course, Democrats are like, I can only imagine the Democrats are like, oh my God, cutting regulations, cutting taxes. That's really, really bad because we're going to not have as much taxpayer money. That's how they always think. But you have to combine all of the cuts and regulations and the cut in taxes with all the work that DOGE is going to do. And Elon actually retweeted this little summary video about DOGE and what they're going to do. And it's just really cool. So, add all this together and there is just a really good comeback just waiting to happen.
Our nation was founded on the basic idea that the people we elect run the government. That isn't how America functions today.
Right.
Most legal edicts aren't laws enacted by Congress, but rules and regulations promulgated by unelected bureaucrats, tens of thousands of them each year. The entrenched and ever-growing bureaucracy represents an existential threat to our republic, and politicians have abetted it for too long. That's why DOGE is doing things differently. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are entrepreneurs, not politicians. They will serve as outside volunteers, not federal officials or employees. Unlike government commissions or advisory committees, they won't just write reports or cut ribbons. They'll cut costs. They will liberate individuals and businesses from illicit regulations never passed by Congress, stimulate the U.S. economy, and generate prosperity for the American people. Now is the moment to deliver a government that would make our founders proud. Now is the moment for decisive action. Now is the moment for DOGE.
Yeah.
It's so great. And when people are like, he can't do that. He parallel parked a rocket. He can do it and he will do it. Get out of his way.
Oh my God. I love that so much.
I know it's the greatest. That's the thing I'm most excited about is DOGE.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I'm also very, very excited about dogs and dogs' health, and you should be too. If you are not giving your dogs their Ruff Greens, what are you even doing? They love it, you guys.
They do.
And cats love it. Now, thanks to naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, now there are Meow Greens as well. So this is a packet. This is like a full-size packet for the Ruff Greens. And right here on the back, you can see that, wait, there, now you can see. just depending on the size of your dog, it'll tell you like exactly how many teaspoons or tablespoons you need depending on the size. With cats, it's super handy because cats are all pretty much cat size. And so they have like these individual packets that are already pre-measured. You just dump it right onto your cat's dry kibble and it brings their dead, dry, brown food to life, you guys. It's got all the nutrients, vitamins, nutrition that they need to live their longest and best lives. And you can try it for free, whether it's for cats or for dogs. You can get a free Jumpstart trial bag of Ruff Greens for dogs or Meow Greens for cats by just going to ruffgreens.com and using promo code do it. Ruffgreens.com. Do it. All right. So drones. We got to talk about this whole drone thing more. I don't know what's going on, you guys. It's not good. None of it is good.
I'm kind of sick of the drone thing. I'm really, because I'm sick of it because because it just shows you how inept our government is. Either they're inept or they're lying to us.
Right.
And either one of those
seems like they're lying. I feel like they're lying.
I feel like they're lying too. Well, yeah. I don't know, because they are inept, but they have lied. They're inept, but they also have lied to us in the past. So I honestly don't. I'm just so torn as to, could they be doing both? I don't know. Could they be? I mean, like the two can exist at the same time, right? They can be inept and lying at the same time.
That's absolutely true.
Which is
and
terrifying.
yesterday we played that video of Jeff Van Drew on with Harris Faulkner, where he was like, listen, I know I have it on good authority from the higher ups that this is an Iranian mothership that's somehow somewhere off of the eastern coast of the United States. And that's what's sending all of these drones over. And we should be shooting them down. And like, he was all about it. And then we had the chick from the Pentagon say that's absolutely 100% not true. But they also won't say, like, if you say to them, okay, well, are these US military drones? No. Are these foreign entity drones? No. Well, where are they? We don't know. Then how do you know that they're not foreign? Like, if you don't know what they are, how do you rule out anything?
And just follow it. Figure out where it's going. I mean, like, this is not neurosurgery. Just figure out where the damn thing goes, follow it. If they have to, shoot one down and then figure out who it belongs to. Why is this so difficult? This is not difficult. They're making it out to be like this is some difficult thing. We can't figure it out. Okay, well, then you're freaking morons. And so that's why I'm like,
not trying. You're not. And then why aren't you trying? Are you not trying because you are well aware of what these are and you're in charge of that? Like, what is going on? It's clear though that the Biden administration is famous. They're the experts at creating conspiracy theories and creating fear for no reason. All they have to do is be freaking transparent for once, and they just can't do it.
They're not going to do it.
So Jeff Van Drew was back on, I think it was News Nation maybe, and he was they were saying, like the news reporter was saying, are you doubling down on this whole Iranian mothership thing? And he was a little cagier about it. Like he said, I absolutely believe that it could be that, but it could also be other stuff. So you can listen to Jeff Van Drew yourself and see where you think he's landing on this now.
Sound like you are doubling down on that based on a source that you say is credible. So you still stick by your comments that you believe, according to your source, that there is a ship off the coast of the United States, Iranian ship? Or, am I reading that right?
Let me be clear.
Please.
I am confident that my source is giving us a real possibility. Could it be something else? Absolutely. It could be China. Or could it be something else that nobody within a month now, we have no idea what it is, has described or knows. So consider how crazy that is. This is all going on around us. We don't know what it is. And the FBI was at the hearing said, we don't know if it's dangerous or not. We really can't say. But they don't know.
Yeah, I've got to leave it right. I've got to leave it right there. Again, the Pentagon has denied that. The New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has denied that as well. Again,
you're right, and the government's never lied to us, especially this government. I mean, so we should totally believe them.
What in the world? And then John Kirby holds a presser about this yesterday, and he's basically trying to say that all the people out there who've taken video, who've gotten pictures, who've, alerted their local law enforcement, alerted their local news agencies, all of them are wrong. They're what these are just regular, ordinary, manned, legal aircraft. This is what John Kirby was trying to tell the world yesterday. Listen.
Have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat, or have a foreign nexus. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are investigating these sightings, and they're working closely with state and local law enforcement to provide resources using numerous detection methods to better understand their origin. Using very sophisticated electronic detection technologies provided by federal authorities, we have not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings.
Oh my
To
God.
the contrary, upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
God, this guy. He's such a freaking liar, this guy.
Oh my God.
Come on. Yeah. And I'd like to know, where are all the skeet shooters in New Jersey? Do they have my husband was losing his mind yesterday. He's like, seriously, is there anybody in that state that does skeet shooting? Like, why hasn't one of these things been shot down? I don't.
It's amazing. It's
What are you
absolutely
doing,
amazing.
New Jersey. What are you doing? Who are you? Like, that would never happen here. It just wouldn't, you guys. Rednecks and cowboys. This is why they don't fly them over here. And I know people yesterday were saying, oh my God, because I'm afraid that if I shot it down, I would get caught. People here would not be afraid of that, because we would band together. The rednecks and cowboys would band together. We would be in foxholes shooting that crap. Like, it just wouldn't happen in the South, you guys. It wouldn't.
What? I mean, but like, what is it? It is making me absolutely crazy.
I just cannot. I know they have strict gun laws. People are saying they get arrested. Yeah, but see, the thing is, we don't follow the laws out here in the country. We just don't. We're like, laws, schmaws. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, if people around here, they kind of like say, there's like a unwritten rule that we're not going to talk about it. We're just going to shoot it down and be like, it's kind of like at the end of Roadhouse. You remember at the end of Roadhouse when they shot that guy and they're like, did you see anything? I didn't see anything. Did you see anything? Nobody saw anything. The guy just died. We don't know how. That's what would happen. That's what would happen here. So I'm just saying, like, I am surprised that no one has shot one of these things down. I'm shocked.
And then
Shocked.
some of, and then you don't know, because there's so much video and so much imagery floating around, and then so much of it gets modified or altered. And so you don't know right now what's floating around that's legit, that somebody took this video and it's like orbs moving in ways that even drones shouldn't be able to move.
Right.
Or
and they go
if
dark.
Or if it's just been, videos that have been tampered with to make us all get riled up. So, I mean, that's the hard part about the internet right now, is that you have to verify and verify and verify that what you're seeing is actually real. But there's too much. There's too many videos out right now of people going, what the hell is that? I saw one this morning of one of those things spraying down some sort of liquid all over the earth.
Oh,
like,
hell no.
And you can hear the person in the background going, what the hell is that? What are they spraying? What is going on?
Oh my God.
Things are getting weird.
The bottom line is they're lying to us. And if people think that they're not capable of lying to us, did you live through COVID? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's so astounding that people are still so trusting of a John Kirby getting on a stage and being like, well, yeah, no, it's just like, it's fine. Everybody, it's whatever. I don't trust that guy as far as I can throw him. And I could probably throw him. He's little.
Well, I think it was Jackie Heinrich that pushed back and said, well, do you guys have your own, like, does the US government have its own imagery, its own video footage of these things? How are you investigating this? Do you have your own stuff to look at? And here's how that went.
Drones. Does the US government have any of its own imagery or video of these systems?
I'm not aware that we have U.S. government produced imagery ourselves, but as I said in my opening statement, we have certainly done thorough analysis of the existing imagery.
Like from people's cell phones that we're seeing, basically, with what you're looking at, how can you credibly tell people that there is no public safety threat, there's no national security threat, that there's no reason to believe that a foreign government is involved?
Because the analysis thus far, in an investigation that is ongoing, has not revealed any national security or malicious intent or criminal activity. But, Jackie, I would remind you, we're at the beginning here, not the end. There's a lot more work to be done, and we're working closely with state and local authorities to gain more information. I would argue that we're moving pretty well here.
Really? They got a gajillion people on this. What are they, all freaking morons? They should know what this is already, okay? And then meantime, they can tell us everything there is to know about what the Italian guy. We know everything.
Luigi.
We know everything about Luigi, like unibrow, dude. But this is the thing. They pick and choose what they want to tell us about different things. We're on to you.
Well, Nancy Mace, my representative, she was on with Benny to talk about the drone thing and whether or not she knows anything more than what the government is saying. She's kind of implying that there's stuff that's being held back.
Yeah.
And I think by now this is obvious to everyone, but here she is to kind of put a little finer point on it.
That the government, certain agencies aren't forthcoming with information. They've overclassified information, even the explainable UAPs. But what I did learn in this skiff, and I'm being very careful with my words here, they explained a lot of the objects we've seen in some leaked videos and content and photos, etc. But there are two very consistent shapes that are consistently unexplained. And I won't describe those shapes until we've got permission to talk about it. But there are two very specific shapes that are consistently unexplained in our skies. And I find that interesting. I find it fascinating. And I would like to have more information, and I would like more disclosure for things that are explained and how the government got to the bottom of that through their technology or infrared, radar and technology, sonar technology, et cetera. Explain how they figured it out and show some examples, but also come forward and show what's unexplained, so that we can be more, in terms of members of Congress and just people that are seeing these things in the skies, know what to look for, and then how to report it. How can everyday Americans report something that looks strange or a national security threat in our skies or in our waters, et cetera?
Okay, that was a little bit more transparent, but still, like, she doesn't know. Like, the fact that she doesn't know is also alarming. Like, I just, there's so many unanswered questions, and I feel like they have the answers. They're just not telling us.
That's how I feel too.
Okay, good. I feel like I don't think I'm alone in that.
No, and it's other members of Congress, even Cory Booker. Cory Booker also feels like there's not enough transparency. Here he is.
There hasn't been enough transparency, letting people know what's happening. It's allowing a lot of potentially misinformation to spread, or at least fear. We should know what's going on over our skies, and I've asked for a lot more information.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
It is. Like, it's insanity. And that is,
Cash will not put up with this. Cash will not.
Right. Cash, he won't put up with it. I kind of wish he would, like, kind of like Trump is getting in there and starting to infiltrate. And he's like, yeah, I'm your daddy now. Cash needs to just start getting in there and saying, okay, this is ridiculous. If you guys aren't going to do the job, I know he's not appointed yet, but he has an in. He knows stuff. He's seen files. Maybe he can, like, start at least saying things and start telling us some things. I don't know. Maybe he can know something or find something out that these people are not telling us. He can communicate that to the American people, because these people obviously are unwilling to do it. And that's unacceptable.
It's a little odd, right? That Trump hasn't said anything. Like, he hasn't been talking about this at all. And that's weird to me too. That I don't know what to make of it. It's very unnerving to not know anything.
It's all unnerving. It's all unnerving. It should be to everybody, because this is some weird stuff.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be going on.
You know how, like, I keep discovering new things about Omaha Steaks and what they have in their offerings. Like, I've been talking about this all week, how they had, that was like a discovery a couple months ago that they had seafood. Then I discovered they had the comfort food packages. Then I discovered that you could have a whole Christmas dinner for $4 for less than $200. Then I discovered that you could do, like, all sides packages, or you could do all dessert packages, or all appetizer packages. And then today, you guys, they have wine.
They have wine, you guys. You should do wine and desserts. That's how I Christmas.
Is there anything that they can't do at
So
omahasteaks.com?
Right?
I ask you.
So good.
They have all the things. They have these amazing packages right now, especially during this Christmas gift buying season. So if you're looking to treat yourself or treat someone else on your Christmas list, think about going to omahasteaks.com, 50% off site-wide. Plus, you get an extra $30 off when you use promo code CHICKS. Again, this is at omahasteaks.com. I cannot speak to how good their wine is. I haven't had it yet, but I can tell you I'm about to order some.
Yeah.
So I will report back because
That's a great
I'm so
gift.
excited.
What a great gift.
Right?
Send somebody some good steak and some wine. I mean, who doesn't like that? I ask you.
You cannot go wrong. I mean,
Right.
unless you've got like one of those weird, like
a vegan, like a
vegan friend.
Ew.
And then why?
Why
Like
are you
I
friends? Yeah.
don't have that person in your life.
Right? Uh-huh.
Anyway, omahasteaks.com and use, of course, promo code CHICKS as always. I think it's a 6-second clip of Tom Homan talking about how when these deportations begin, they're going to start in Chicago, and here's why.
Chicago's in trouble because your mayor sucks and your governor sucks.
It's just so great. It's so true. So many truth bombs right there.
I mean, he just says it. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? I just
He's right.
love him so much.
Can't dispute it.
Love him. And I've always loved, but am growing even more in love with Pete Hegseth, who just really knows how to deal with the media. He got questioned in the hallways again of the Senate by reporters wanting him to respond to some CNN report about him. And here is how he managed it.
Do you believe that gay people should be allowed to serve in the military?
Yes.
You said, can you just respond to the CNN report this morning? It was highlighting some of your previous comments. Saying
I don't
that
feel the need to respond to CNN. Have a good day,
you are comfortable with gay people openly serving in the military.
Did you hear what I said there? Have a good day, man.
Thank you.
I love that so much. You can F all the way off. Thanks. Is that his wife
don't
that's
feel
standing
me.
next to him all the time? That's his
Yeah.
wife all the time. I love
Yeah.
that too. I love
Yeah.
that she's with him all the time.
All the time. All the time.
I think that's neat. I think that's really neat that she's like
Yeah.
standing by him during all of these things. That says something about him and their relationship. I mean, she
Yeah.
obviously doesn't have a job, which is great. She's a housewife. But I mean, if I were like a housewife and my husband was up for one of those positions, I'd want to be there. I think
Yeah,
that's
for
kinda
sure.
neat. I think that's wonderful that they are together during those things and they have a united front. That's neat.
And she's always got that smile on her face
Yeah.
where she's just like, she's sure of him. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my God,
She's
they're
just sure of him.
right. They seem very much in love, and I love that for them. I think that's fantastic. Mhm.
Yeah, I love it too. Also, I know we've talked ad nauseum about the fact that Elon has saved free speech, that was like a momentous period of time in our country, like a historical moment. But I love the way that Joe Rogan and his guest, I'm sorry that I don't know who this is. People in the audience are probably going to be like, I can't believe you don't know who that is. And like, tell me who it is. I don't know who it is. But he and his guest are talking about how there were these two pivotal moments in our history that really changed the course of the world, if you think about it. And so I thought it was just really interesting the way that Joe put this, the both of them put this. Here it is.
First Amendment. What they want is to keep their fucking job and keep power, and also not get in trouble for some of the shit they did that was maybe illegal, which we wouldn't even have known about if Elon didn't buy Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the Elon buying Twitter was like that.
It's a game changer.
A game changer.
The fork in the road for civilization.
Yeah,
right.
It's wild to think, isn't
Mark
it?
Andreessen has said there's two forks in the road. There's one, Elon buys Twitter, and two, Trump turns his head and doesn't get shot.
Yep.
Those are the two.
Yeah.
If those two things don't happen, who fucking knows where we are?
I don't disagree. And you look at those both scenarios are both like 1 in a million. Like, how would Trump turns his head? Like, that's wild.
Right.
But then, like, how would a guy like Elon exist, first of all, in our lifetime?
Right. What are the odds?
What are the odds, right? That has the vehicle of Twitter or and all the things line up.
Not just has the vehicle, has so much fuck you money
Right.
that he's willing to blow $44 billion on something that's worth $200 billion, maybe.
Right.
So, or rather 20 billion, maybe. Right. So one of the things that like there's this narrative, like he's such a bad businessman. Twitter is worth $20 billion less than when he purchased it. No. It was never worth that much. He overpaid for it.
Right.
He overpaid for it on purpose. Yeah.
Knowingly.
Yeah, knowingly. He just wanted to take control of this fucking thing that has always been so important to us, which is the First Amendment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Because Elon is so brilliant that he saw the long game.
Mm-hmm. Just like he did with the internet. Remember that clip that we played of him talking about the internet in 1998 and how it would end the media as we know it?
Yep. Because he understands that. You're right. I mean, this is the thing. He gets it.
Yeah.
He can see, I mean, I don't want to say he can see the future. He can't see the future, but he can see the long game. He understands how things are going to progress.
Yeah.
And that is brilliance. It's just sheer brilliance. And not a lot of those people exist in the world. You know, a lot of people are just living their lives day to day. And he doesn't see the world that way. And that is awesome that we have somebody like that.
Just to think about the fact that those two things have happened just within the last 24 months.
Right.
And how it's true that those were the main forks in the road that have changed the absolute course of civilization from here on out.
Right. I believe
that's amazing.
I believe that those two things were divine.
Yeah.
Truly divine. I believe that when he stood up on that stage, when Trump was on that stage and he turned his head, that was God. And I think he believes that too.
Yeah. I think you're right. All right, we got to talk about Luigi and all the fallout from Luigi. Unfortunately, as we've talked about all week, there have been the psychos, particularly on the left, who are excusing this, who are justifying it, I should say. People like AOC, Taylor Lorenz, Elizabeth Warren, all these people are basically saying, well, I mean, yeah, violence is never the answer, but here's why it's okay, essentially. That's just how they're acting. And so now here's a little bit of a news report about something that was seen in Seattle. This is unbelievable.
Overnight. So look at the message here that our photographer found near Dexter Avenue in the northbound lanes of the highway there. It reads, one less CEO, many more to go.
God.
We don't know who's responsible for this message, which agency operates the sign, whether it's WashDOT, SDOT, or a private company, and how this could have happened. So we're certainly going to let you know what we find out when we get some answers. It appears that message was up for at least an hour overnight.
Oh my God. It's got to be a DOT, right? It's got to be. It's got to be somebody. That's not a private company that does that. That's usually that's a DOT, somebody's DOT.
I don't know if those things are like hackable. I mean, I have no idea how any of that works, but
it's freaking evil. Yeah, it's evil.
There's evil like that, and then there's also like evil like mixed in with like a tinge of just sheer stupidity, and that's what you're about to hear in this news report about a woman, a mom of 3, who I think she's from Atlanta, who is now facing some time in prison because of a potential copycat situation.
We would also be asking for GPS with house arrest conditions to protect the community.
With her head in her hands, Brianna Boston learned she would be held in jail on $100,000 bond. The Polk County judge adding the bond was appropriate given the, quote, status of our country.
It's not like she's a child. She's 42 years old, so we're not dealing with a child here. She should certainly know better.
Lakeland Police Chief Sam Taylor says his department was contacted by the FBI Tuesday. Authorities say in a recorded phone call about a denied insurance claim, Boston told a Blue Cross Blue Shield employee, quote, delay, deny, depose. You people are next, end quote. The language matches the words police say were written on the shell casings found at the United Healthcare CEO's murder scene in New York City.
We will take this very seriously, and we will put you in jail if you do something like this. It is not a joke.
According to Boston's affidavit, the mother of 3 told police she did not own firearms and was not a danger to anyone. But she added, healthcare companies played games and deserved karma because they are evil. Similar to the accused shooter in Manhattan, Boston is getting support online from people who say that she was just sharing her opinion and should be protected by the First Amendment, but police do not see it that way. She's facing a second-degree felony of written threat to kill or injure, conduct a mass shooting, or an act of terrorism, a serious charge that she could end up in prison for 15 years.
It's not the First Amendment. Like everybody needs to just like STFU with that. We've had guys threaten us. We've put them straight in jail.
And if there isn't a serious consequence, that's the only thing that will deter other people from doing this copycat nonsense. There have to be really harsh consequences for this crap.
100%. Don't be a freaking idiot.
And she's acting like, what? I'm going to have to go to jail?
And you're a
What?
mother?
Oh my
You're
God.
a mother of 3? What is wrong with you? Yeah, you're right, Shelley. Threats are not covered under the First Amendment.
Exactly.
Like if you're threatening somebody's life, you don't. No, that's not the First Amendment.
Yeah.
I mean, people.
She's a moron. She's an absolute moron, but she's going to learn. I mean, she's going to learn the hard way that you don't get to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't get to make those kinds of threats.
And to your point, hopefully other people learn by her example.
Exactly. And then I think we mentioned yesterday that Senator Fetterman on the right side of this, he's one of the rare Democrats that is actually like, I cannot believe we're glorifying this guy. And he was caught up with by a reporter to talk about that. Here he is.
People want to glamorize that. People here in the media want to glamorize that or talk about how he's a sexy guy, and that's not a story. He executed an innocent man with 2 kids because he happens to disagree in the work that he has. Well, people disagree with me. Well, then now I need to take him out, or take out anyone that works in a business. I hate the media. You vote in the media? Well, there we go. Imagine if somebody cuts one of you members of you down, and now they're getting cheered online because they're hot, or because some people really have a reason to hate the media. It's crazy.
Lurch is right.
He is. He's absolutely right.
He is 100% correct. Yeah. Where does it end? God. I mean, I just cannot believe.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, I am too. I know. I want to be like, I'm just so proud of you. He's growing up. But like, why do we have to even talk about this? Like, our society is, as you would say, so borked.
So borked. And isn't it interesting too that with it, you're not hearing a single solitary leftist use this to talk about gun control?
Not at all.
Usually they use all kinds of shootings to say there needs to be a serious conversation about gun control, especially considering that this was a ghost gun
and
a
silencer.
That they would be up in arms about it, and not a word about it. That's how you know they're complete hypocrites about this issue.
Absolutely. Like with a silencer, the guy used a silencer. They're saying nothing about silencers. You're absolutely right, Mock. I mean, it shows who they are.
Yep.
Like it's like you are so transparent to all of us now. We know who you are.
Yep. And Batya Ungar Sargon and who is this? Michael Moynihan from the Free Press. He was talking about, he gets so angry about this too, because he sees all the glorification of this guy because he's hot. And it's like the lefties who normally want to make a victim of everybody. They're treating this guy who is the most privileged person ever. They're treating him like he's some sort of a deity now, some sort of a hero, and he drags them for it. It's awesome. Take a listen.
Was a spoiled rich brat who went to a $40,000 a year private school. His family, wealthy for generations. The guy that he murdered's father was a grain elevator operator, and he went to the University of Ohio, a public school. So we want to put that kind of, this kid is a privileged little rat, and he deserves to rot in hell. And rot in prison and then rot in hell. The person who did this, don't pretend what he is. People are imprinting on him what they want. Read his manifesto. This valedictorian is a half-wit. He is not a smart person. Look at the end of this, in which he says, we have, a lower life expectancy, but we spend the most on healthcare. We spend the most on healthcare, by the way, because we're a very rich country. And we have, procedures that other countries don't have. We spend a lot, right? Is it, well allocated? I don't think so. But the health outcome thing, it's COVID, it's obesity, it's gun violence. That stuff doesn't have anything to do with the health insurance. And then he says, I don't really know this. Don't saddle it on me at the end. He says, I don't really know. I'm not the expert. You just fucking killed a father of 2. And as I said to my friends, you imagine for me for 1 second, all of them are parents going to tell those 2 kids that they don't have a father anymore.
Exactly.
Because some shithead little kid who went to a fucking private school, who thinks he knows about the healthcare system and what's wrong with it and how to solve it, decided to take it upon himself and kill somebody. And if you're out there defending that, you have eternal shame, and should think about that for a second, because you're condoning murder of somebody. It's terrorism is what it is.
Yeah, and not only was he a privileged kid who went to an effing private school and was valedictorian of that, but he went to an Ivy League school. Okay, he was privileged beyond privileged beyond privileged. His grandmama was going to give. I mean, she is worth like tens and tens of millions of dollars, and was passing that down to everybody. He was going to come. I mean, that kid was going to come into gajillions of dollars.
Yeah.
Generational
I think he was
wealth.
up for 30 million is the number I saw.
He was a rich little prick. Yeah. And that's what he did. That's what he did. I mean, just decayed in the brain. He's just a little Ivy League scumbag. Yeah. And this is the thing. Leftists think this is great. They think it's fantastic. I don't.
It's such a statement about our culture. I mean,
yeah.
Right.
It's a statement not just about our culture. It's a statement about our educational system. It's a there are statements across the board that can be made about this kid. You know, and about the victim mentality. There's so many statements that could be made about this kid. Oh, my back hurts. Really? Does your back hurt, buddy? You know, I don't feel sorry for this kid one bit.
No, I hope he rots. I mean,
I hope he rots
I hope he
too.
rots for life in jail.
Yep, exactly.
Oh my God. And speaking of rot, of just the culture, this was just an unbelievable video that Libs of TikTok posted yesterday. This is a 12-year-old who identifies as pansexual and non-binary. I'm sorry, but this is such a freaking farce. This is totally put on this kid by the parents, by the school, by whoever is allowing this nonsense to actually fester in this kid's brain. A 12-year-old having any understanding of what pansexuality is? Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, I don't even know what it is. What is it? I'm 53 years old. I don't know what it is.
I think it's when you are sexually attracted to anybody, regardless of how they present or identify. Like you're just open for all of it. And I'm sorry, if you're 12, you shouldn't be open to any of it.
Didn't it used to be bisexual? Honestly, I'm asking an honest question.
That's assuming there's binary. That's assuming there's only men and women. Daisy.
But there are only men and women. So that's what it used to be back in the day. Back when we were like normal, I guess. Back in the day, you guys with me on that?
The days of yore.
The days of yore. Okay, and now it's pansexual,
right? Which has nothing to do with cookware, as you might think.
That's exactly what I was like. What, she wants to have sex with pans? I don't know. What is this?
Well, and here is this kid whose name I think is like something like Zip. Like their name is Zip now.
Crying out! Like this kid didn't have a chance.
Testifying in a House of Commons meeting in Canada about trans hate. It's beyond parody. Here is Zip or Zid or whatever.
Thank you. My name is Zip Neufeld.
Zip.
I am a transgender, non-binary, pansexual 12-year-old from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I use he, they pronouns. To the chair and the committee, I am here to speak to you today about the rise of violence towards the two SLGBTQIA+ communities across Canada. It is draining. Draining because politicians are using queer youth as pawns, resulting in a rise of hate and violence. Draining because this makes every day more stressful and looking towards my future, not a thought I want to think about. Draining because we are constantly forced to rise up. Why is our leadership allowing this to happen?
This kid has been groomed.
So disgusting.
It's just absolute grooming is what it is. It's child abuse.
It is. The parents should be in jail for that.
Yeah, totally. That kid. And who
sickening.
The hair and what is that? Oh my God.
In their attempts to be so nonconformist, they are conforming to this this new ridiculous image of what it means to be non-binary.
You're right, because you're absolutely right, Mock, because they all look the same.
It's a cult. That's what it is.
It is a cult. Yeah, they all look the same. You can spot these people from a mile away. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Which is why I thought we needed a cleanse with a good old Tucker clip of him and his ridiculous laugh. I don't even know what event this is at, but he's in a tux and he's being asked what he's wearing, which sends him into a fit of giggles.
Yes. I'm wearing the world's most unattractive tuxedo.
Oh, come on.
Yes,
Where's it from?
I have no idea. I found it in my room.
Well, you look incredible. One last thing. What's your favorite cologne?
I've never worn cologne in my life.
Oh, no?
Cologne? I don't even wear deodorant, dude.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
He's so adorable. He really is.
He's so jolly. I mean,
Oh my
just
God,
that
he really-
laugh is so freaking cute.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh. You guys, it is going to be a little bit of a shorter show today because I have people coming to make a lot of noise in my house in just minutes. And so we have time, of course, for DD and for some MyPillow talks. And of course, we will thank folks who have sent in super stickers and Venmos. I
Yep.
know I've got a Venmo to look at, some folks on locals. We will definitely get you recognized. But first, here is your DD.
The DD, you guys, this is the greatest thing ever. I want to start one of these. You know how like a lot of people in neighborhoods, they have those book libraries, like the little nooks that are like corners. It's like, I don't have that here because I live in the country. But like in neighborhoods, they have a little place where you can take a book and leave a book, you know, which I'm like, oh, that's such a great idea. I love that. I'd love to start one of those. That's neat. But I don't live in a neighborhood. I saw this and I'm like, oh my God, greatest idea ever. It's a stick library for dogs and it's on the beach. And I'm going to have, when I come visit Mock, we're going to have to start one of these for dogs. It is the most adorable thing I've ever seen, you guys. Look.
And this dog apparently is very thoughtful every
wants-
morning about which stick to pick.
He wants the biggest one. Is this not the cutest thing you have ever seen, you guys?
That
It's a
is
stick.
so precious.
We're gonna have to start a stick library, like
I love
somewhere
that
near
idea.
your house. Yeah, we're gonna have to do that. Greatest
I
idea.
love that. By the way, my old neighborhood in Indy did have a little book thing.
The
'Cause
library?
I would see it on my walk back in the day when I used to walk and I had proper knees. They had a little book library, a little nook, and there were lots of books in there. But I remember what I loved about it is that back during COVID, somebody put toilet paper in there when there was the big
Oh, I think
shortage.
that's so
and I was like,
sweet.
that is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
I wonder how you start one of those because I actually think it'd be neat to do because we have a little, like an old house that's been redone and it's a coffee shop here in my little town. And I thought that's what we need there is right there in the little parking lot of that place. It's a parking lot. It's not, it's like a driveway of the house. But it would be so cool to have one there for all the kids in this little town, you know, and to have books for kids. I think that would be really neat. And I just don't know how to do that. I'm going to have to do some research and figure it out because I would love to do that for the kids here. You know,
I don't think there's one in my new neighborhood, and it would be great. It would be absolutely awesome here.
the little
I would love it.
libraries. So great. I love that.
If you are a person who works from home and often gets invited to video calls, Zoom calls, whatever, however you're expected to attend meetings. I know when we were in Indy, my husband refused to ever be on camera. He would go to the office most days, but when he would work at home, he would only show up with like the gray, like just egg icon or whatever. Like he just did not want to show his face on camera. But now that he's here, he's kind of more required to since he's away permanently from the office. And so now you kind of have to be presentable. And so you'll love this video of a woman who clearly works at home and was not prepared to be on video camera until she saw that everybody else was joining by video. Here's what happened. Hide your kids and hide your wives.
Are you fucking kidding me? God damn it. No warning.
Oh my God. In her underwear. That's basically you in the morning. That is so mock, you guys. That is mock.
So is.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
So you.
Seriously, I am wearing pants though right now. I
Yes,
just
but not
I have
always.
leggings on.
Every time we have a team meeting, it's literally mock. It is. Are you wearing pants? Or are you in your underwear? Uh-huh.
I love that so much. And then also, I love this deer because I don't know if there's something wrong with it or what. But you guys, this deer looks like a person. Like there's something very human about this deer and so just like nonchalant about the way it's chewing whatever it is it's chewing. Look at this fella.
Oh, I love him. It looks like a quokka. It looks like one of those quokkas that you like.
It does, but it's way bigger than a quokka.
Oh my God, what is it, you guys?
I don't know, but like I love him so much.
Oh, he's so cute. He needs to live on my property. I will give him all the scratches and the love. He's so cute. He does look fake, doesn't he, Michelle? He does.
I don't know what's going on. I love him so much though. He's so person-like.
I I know. I want to put a little hat on him with the ears coming out. Oh, he's so cute.
And like a necktie. Like I feel like that would be appropriate somehow.
He does. Maybe a bow tie. I think a bow tie would be more appropriate. A little Tucker Carlson bow tie. Be cute.
I just love that. And then also we've got some babies because it's Friday. We need babies. And this baby apparently becomes very overwhelmed when shown love. And when he gets kisses from daddy, just becomes very overwhelmed. And so sweet.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't. Oh my gosh. I cannot. He loves it so much. He's emotional. That kid's going to be a sap. I know, right? Such a sap.
So cute.
My gosh.
Oh my God.
Steve's like, hey, Daisy, you should get a baby. Steve, I've already had one, and then I have a grandbaby now, and then I can't. Like, I'm incapable of having any more, just so you know. But I'd be happy to like take other people's and hold them and love them for a while because I love babies. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And then speaking of babies, so this woman had twins and obviously they were premature. And so when you are in NICU and you get to hold your premature baby, they call it kangaroo care, with skin on skin, and you just get them all cuddly and warm and everything. And so apparently this moment, this mom is holding one of the twins, and this is the moment when the second twin is brought over to meet the other twin.
The first twin.
And it is the cutest thing I have ever seen.
Oh my God. He's going to love on him, isn't he? Oh my gosh. I can't. Oh, he's like, buddy, I got you. I got you, buddy. They're gonna be like that forever. Those two.
Is that not the cutest thing?
That is the cutest.
Oh
the
my
absolute
God.
Cutest. God, I think having twins would have been so cool.
Right? Twins
That
are
would have been
amazing.
really, really neat. Yeah.
And then lastly, before we get to thank yous, is there anything cuter than penguins dressed up for Christmas?
Oh my gosh, Steve! Where are you, Steve? Daisy, you need penguins. Yes, I do. Yes, I do,
my God.
Steve. I need them dressed up in their Christmas gear. I need them immediately.
Too much.
And I'd have them in my house, walking around. Oh my gosh, so cute, Mott.
So cute. Also, Trisha Gamble, this is very, very generous over on Venmo. Thank you. She says, good morning. Love you, chicks. Mock, I love your beautiful new office and can't wait to see the other rooms. Daisy, like you, I love Christmas and I have 11 trees.
Ah, girl after my own heart.
Keep up the good work. We're winning. Oh, and happy Friday 13th birthday to me. Happy birthday. Trisha.
Happy birthday.
Also, Judy Flood over on Local says America is back with Trump. Jersey CRH says, Daisy, we have a pretty active airspace with the New Jersey and New York airports right in the same part of the state as the drones. Also, the area up here in northern Jersey is very populated and it would be crazy risky to bring these things down. It's a real issue. You need to understand the area to realize the challenges.
Okay,
I mean,
so
that's
it's just
fair.
It's fair. It's probably pretty dense.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're flying them there and not here. It's because they know that we're full of rednecks here.
Mm-hmm. Osuki says, regarding the UFOs, the enemy creates chaos and fear. God hasn't given us chaos and fear. He's given us power, love, and a sound mind. I think on that right now. And then Dana, our friend Dana yesterday said, morning, beautiful beauties. One of two messages regarding cat talks from yesterday. Cats are proven empaths. They pick up on health, energy, mood, and goodness or evil of humans. All of my cats and foster litters have been chatty, social, affectionate, and playful like I am.
I love
and
that.
then there was a second part, 2 of 2. As we say in rescue, no bad animals, just bad owners. So if the cats are psycho, well, you get the point. AJ, your cat will be sarcastic, guaranteed. Happy Friday the 13th from Arizona. Love y'all.
I love it, Dana. Gosh, I hope
Now,
so.
I don't know what that means though, because my cat was pure evil. Like she loved me.
Yeah,
and
but she loved
grew to love Ron and Jackson and Thomas, but she hated everybody else.
Yeah, but she was loving to you. So she picked up on your vibes and was loving to you. So I think to Dana's point, that's correct. Like she was just awful to everybody else. So she was like, well, I guess I got to be nice to this one because she's pure sunshine. So I got to be sunshine around this one.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got other ones.
Laura Kate Baker, mock, I want to be on a jury too.
God, right?
You guys are crazy. But no part of that. Marcus Drake, I was just reminded that today is Friday the 13th. Funny, I don't feel unlucky today. LOL. Love you, ladies. My morning is always better with y'all. Thank you, Marcus. Joe Robin, Biden is on some of the 47,000 child files.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Brian Brumley, Mock is beseeching again. Is there anything in her medicine kit for that? Also, Brian, thank you so much for my Christmas card. That was so lovely. So lovely. I got it the other day and it was just so thoughtful of you. So thank you, Brian. Stephanie Smith, can we buy the wall segments and give them back to Trump? I'd totally sponsor a segment.
Yeah. I mean, they're $5 for 40,000 pounds.
Right. I think we should all try to just start bidding on them, you know, and then give them back to the administration to build the wall.
Right?
Yeah. Oh. Eugene Heiger, you know what would be a great idea? One of these billionaires buys the steel fencing and after Trump is in, donate it back to the boarded closing.
Border, probably.
Yeah. Love you, chicks. Now take my money. Jerks. Thank you, Eugene. MJ Homestead, living our dream. They are waiting on the drones until closer to the inauguration. Then they will declare that they are a threat and declare martial law, which equals no transfer of power. Take my money while you still can.
There's no way that Biden can continue to be president. Like he's absolutely incapable.
Well, he's been incapable for 4 years though. So I wouldn't discount anything at this point. That's actually not a crazy theory. Just putting it out there. Andrea Viola, as long as Americans are tolerant to drones, corruption, riots, and politicians are not held accountable, expect more. Intolerance is the way forward. Yep. Alexandra, I grew up in Seattle and it's become a crap show. I'm just glad that the small towns I grew up in remain the same as I left them 8 years ago. Amen to that. I live in a small town and like they're anti-progress and it's like everybody around us is growing and growing and growing. It's all becoming mini malls. And I'm like, please God, don't let my little small town become anything but a small town, you know? So I love that, Alexandra. Teresa Raimundo, I'm running very late this morning, but thanks for being here. Thanks for being the awesome jerks on the right you are. Thank you, Teresa. Brian Brumley, beseech days of yore. Did Mock swallow a Bible concordance? That's pretty funny.
GCQC?
GCQC.
It's too much.
That's so generous. Flowers for Mock and Brahmin feed for Daisy. Merry Christmas, friends. Very, very sweet. Thank you. Merry early Christmas to you too, GCQC. We love you. Jose Rodriguez, morning from Texas, y'all. The wife and I are on a road trip to the Texas's hill country for a little getaway weekend. No winery will be safe. Take some of my wine money. I love it.
Aw,
that's good times right there. Good times, Jose. Thank you. You guys bring it in. Bring it in. It's going to be a good weekend. And remember, we're going to start a little earlier on Monday. So just keep that in mind. So if we're already here when you guys join, don't freak out. We just started a little early. If you didn't get here, you may have forgotten that over the weekend. Okay. But we will see you on Monday. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Bye, guys.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.